Hey guys, I hope everyone had a great weekend. I went up to Tallahassee with my mom and we went up to see the Clemson game, which I'm sure if Alfredo's watching this, he knows that we lost because he was up there too, but it was still a really good weekend. And my mom and I couldn't help but notice the amount of drinking that was going on, which we obviously predicted that was going to happen. But what made us really sad was that these college students would get in their cars and drive. They were out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They were out. Of course, it's Halloween weekend, so there's more things going on right now. Um, they were going to parties, pre-games, tailgates, and we were driving behind these students, and you could just see them swerving all over the place, hitting their brakes so many times. They had super slow reaction times to yellow lights and people braking in front of them. So I actually decided to research this and I was like, Mom, I have a PSA and I want to link it to drinking and driving since we were just exposed to this. Let me see what I could find. So on collegedrinkingprevention.gov, I found that 1,825 college students between the ages of 18 and 24 die from alcohol related unintentional injuries, including motor vehicle crashes. 696,000 students between the ages of 18 and 24 are assaulted by another student who has been drinking. 97,000 students between the ages of 18 and 24 report experiencing alcohol-related sexual assault or date rape. And about 1 in 4 college students report academic consequences from drinking, including missing class, falling behind in class, doing poorly on exams or papers, and receiving lower grades overall. At first, these numbers were really big, and I was like, oh my god. But then I started looking at my friends, and I was like, you know what? These numbers actually don't surprise me. I had a really close friend who, in high school, she had a 4.0 GPA. She was student government president. I mean, she was in Key Club. This girl was doing it all. She was extremely successful in high school and got accepted into Florida State. So she goes to FSU as a freshman and she starts drinking, as most college students do, but she started doing it recklessly. And this girl started missing class just like how this website stated in their facts. And now she has a 1.9 GPA. And talking to her now, she's a junior. She wants to bring more awareness because she cannot believe that this happened to her. And I feel like we both think that since we're freshmen in college, we've experienced alcohol, but not to a point that we're completely free and can do whatever we want. We don't have our parents stopping us from drinking, or when we get home, they're not waiting for us and where have you been? Oh, what? So you have way more freedom and everything is on your hands. You can do whatever you want to do. So from this, I really want us, because right now we're in community college, which is not a bad thing at all, but it stops us from experiencing those things, which I think is actually a good thing. We're at home, we're living with our parents, but we're able to see what our friends are doing in universities, and I want us to learn from their mistakes and to listen to these statistics so that we don't become a part of them. We can drink, but we don't have to do it so irresponsibly. So the next website is pubs.niaaa.nih.gov. And by the way, I'm going to be posting all of these links in my thread. So if you guys want to find more information, it'll be right there. They started talking about death, and it was the same statistics as the website before. But they also started mentioning alcohol poisoning in college students. It says thousands of college students are transported to the emergency room each year for alcohol poisoning, which occurs when high levels of alcohol suppress the nervous and respiratory systems and the body struggles to rid itself of toxins produced from the breakdown of alcohol. Signs of this dangerous condition can include mental confusion, stupor, coma, or the person cannot be roused. They're vomiting, slow or irregular breathing, hypothermia, bluish or pale skin. Alcohol poisoning can lead to permanent brain damage or death, so a person showing any of these signs requires immediate medical attention. This reminded me of a girl. She was still in high school, and she went to UF um, to spend the weekend with her friends. She was still a senior in high school. She had partied so much and drank so much more than her body could control. I mean, if you're drinking, you should make sure to be drinking water and be eating food so that it kind of flushes out and dilutes the alcohol content in your blood. And she clearly wasn't doing this, and she had to be hospitalized as a minor because she wasn't 18 years old yet, and her mom had to rush over to Gainesville. And she was in really bad shape. I mean, the girl was intubated on a constant drip, and it's so sad that we're not taught how to handle these things until we go off on our own. And also, regarding the sexual assault before, I just remembered about a story. I've been dating my boyfriend for 3 years, and he also moved to FSU. And he lived in the dorm while he was a freshman. And one day he was in his room with his roommate, and this girl walked in. She confused their room with her friend's room, and she was not wearing any pants or any underwear, nothing. She was completely drunk, didn't know where she was, could barely stand up. She had gone to the communal bathroom and lost her way going to her friend's dorm. Had she walked into any other guy's room, I do not know what could have happened to her. I'm sure, like, walking into the wrong room, she could have been assaulted or worse. My boyfriend and his roommate immediately called 911, thinking that this was a rare occurrence, but the police actually said that they get calls like this all the time of people not knowing where the heck they are. They're super incoherent, as this girl was, completely naked in two guys' rooms that she had no idea who they were. So the sexual assault, it hurts me so much because it's never the victim's fault. That's something that I completely agree with, but at the same time, this girl put herself in a very dangerous situation, all because she didn't know how to handle herself with alcohol. And I could never blame her or victims of sexual assault, but you need to be more responsible. You can't put yourself in situations like that. So let's see. They also listed some strategies. It says strategies for individual students include those in higher risk groups such as first-year students, student athletes, members of Greek organizations like sororities and frats, and mandated students. They are designed to change students' knowledge, attitudes, and behaviors toward alcohol so that they drink less, take fewer risks, and experience fewer harmful consequences. It includes educational and other awareness programs, cognitive behavioral skills based approaches, motivation, feedback related approaches, and behavioral interventions by health professionals. Strategies targeting the campus and surrounding community. It pretty much says that they, as the student body as a whole, they should make getting, drunk harder. They want to reduce alcohol availability, cut consumption and harmful consequences on campuses as in the general population. I don't know if that would work. I mean, if kids want alcohol, they're going to find their way to it. I know so many people who have fake IDs, and if they don't have that, they'll just get someone who's 21 to buy it for them. I mean, my boyfriend lives with, he's 20, so he's underage, but two of his roommates are 21. And they're always in charge of going to the stores and buying the alcohol. So I don't think that will work that much, but I definitely think that the individual strategies would work. Raising more awareness of, okay, not completely stopping drinking because that's not realistic, but showing people, okay, when you're out drinking, for every drink a glass of water. Be careful when you mix drinks, make sure to eat, things like that, and show them strategies with driving. If you can't do this, then you can't drive. If you know you're going out, assign a designated driver. If you're hosting a party, which a lot of my friends do this and I appreciate them for it, they actually tell you, hey, if you're coming to my party, you have to turn in your keys. if you plan on driving, I need to see you beforehand. And if I don't feel comfortable with you driving, I'm sorry. Like, you're taking an Uber, I'm calling you a cab, or you're freaking staying here. And I appreciate that a lot. I mean, you have to be responsible as a host. I can't imagine throwing a party and then something happening to one of my friends. So I think those strategies would work. And the last website I want to talk about is called well.wvu.edu. It's a West Virginia University, their website. It's talking about how much do DUIs cost. It says beyond lost lives and painful injuries, alcohol-related crashes in the U.S. cost federal and local governments and taxpayers approximately $51 billion each year. Of course, a single DUI won't cost you anywhere near that much, but getting caught driving under the influence can be expensive. The costs vary by state, but you would spend about $4,000 to $5,000 on fines, impound fees, a DUI treatment program, insurance increases, and other things like that. And it says that's all, that cost includes everything, but not the lawyers, so that would even be more. It says legal consequences. Some consequences of a first DUI arrest and conviction are your license will be suspended for a period of time. You may have to participate in a treatment program. You may even have to spend some time in jail. But even for first offenders, DUI laws and penalties are getting tougher every year. For long-term consequences, they have, once you've been convicted of a DUI, you will probably have to disclose that conviction on every future application you fill out. This is true. I just applied for a job and I had to fill this out. Most potential employers take DUI convictions seriously, and DUI convictions may also prevent you from joining the military or getting a government or civil service job. If you've already had a DUI, now is the time to take advantage of every option within your reach to turn your life around. By recognizing that you have a problem and taking initiative to get help, there is a chance you might even get your record erased. This is true. I know some people who have had a DUI and maybe they were young or it was isolated incident, wherever it may be. If they actually work toward fixing their habits of driving under the influence, a lot of judges actually try to repeal your DUI because it does affect a lot of aspects in your life. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I was applying for a lot of things, scholarships, schools, anything, they always ask me if if I've been arrested, which some people have been with a DUI, if I've broken any laws, including driving, which that would include a DUI. And I've always been able to say no, 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 no. But a lot of employers have told me that they immediately do not consider people who have had experienced that. Of course, every employer doesn't take that so deep, but a lot of them do. So, I mean, that's not even the most important part. It's your safety. It's your life. Your life is not worth going home. I get it. We want to go home. We want to be sleeping in our own beds, but not only are you putting your own life at risk, but you're putting innocent people's lives at risk. And I know so many drunk drivers who have killed actually end up committing suicide because they can't just bear the thought that those people died because they chose to act irresponsibly. So I know it's late when I'm posting this, but I hope you guys are able to watch this and do a little bit more research on your own. I know for myself, I would never get into a car now that I know these facts. Of course, I've always known that it's bad, but I didn't know these statistics. So I hope you guys were able to learn a couple of things too in this PSA. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Good night.